Oh, man.
Doing all right over there? So, Paul, we've been doing this podcast for 38 decades, and XSplit, the software that I use, has finally put out an update that solves one of my problems. It's only taken them 37 decades to do this.
This might literally be my second longest lived relationship. No, probably not. But anyway, well, I'm glad to hear that.
Do you want to know?
I heard you say that they finally fixed it before we started, and somehow in the back of my mind, I knew you weren't referring to a Microsoft solution.
True, on both accounts. What they fixed is, so when we talk, it's called audio metering. You can see like the levels of everything. And
Right.
up until 38 seconds ago, the audio meters were approximately the size of a postage stamp, and there was no way to make them bigger to be able to see if audio was
From across the room or whatever.
Guess what you can now do?
You can make it bigger.
You can make it bigger.
Wow.
So now there's no more guessing if the audio's working.
I mean, I don't know how long we've been doing this, but it's got to be 4 or 5 years or something, right?
Look at this. I'm going to even drag it onto the other monitor so people can bask in this glory. Watch
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Wait
Got
for it. Just wait. Keep waiting.
Yes, right there. It's perfect.
See how big they are?
And that's just, who is that? Is that just one person's metering? What is that?
No, you're the middle.
I see.
Yep.
Well, that's nice. I'm happy for you.
You should be.
Or something. I don't know.
Isn't that great?
It is great.
Now I just want to look at it because I've been neglected this for...
Maybe you need a third screen where you could just have that be the screen.
I've thought about it. I've thought about putting a screen right behind the camera,
Right.
like through some contraption. The problem is that this giant stupid thing is very reflective. So you can see there's
Right.
even a light up here.
Yep. You would
there.
catch it right in the middle.
Yeah. And that would be a problem. And then it would be just more things that make me angry. Much like the Teams icon for consumer has changed on my thing.
Oh, has it really? Oh, man, I love it.
What? What used to, you log into Windows 11 the first time, and it's this nice little whatever purple blob thing. You click it, you don't know what you're getting. As it turns out, it's Teams Consumer. Oh wait,
So it's like a white background on
this
the
is
T.
this is beautiful. This right here is beautiful, Paul Thurrott. I'm gonna first off take off this screen to show you how beautiful this is. Oh, I didn't think that through, did I? Well, not the first time I'll say that today. But can you see in the top right corner?
Yep.
Is that the Teams Consumer icon or the Teams Work icon?
Oh, I can help you. It has a purple background on the T, so that's the work one.
Yeah, and this would be the consumer version that's all washed out.
Huh. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
First off, I am also the first person in the second half of 2021 who actually removed a top of a Surface Book 3.
It's weird. I'm surprised they didn't stick with that design. It was so time-worn. That's successful.
Anyways, that is brilliant on Microsoft's part that you have.
You know, I would call it typical on Microsoft's part. This is the company that has two different versions of a Skype client, store and desktop. It's the company that has two different versions of the OneNote client, same thing. It has subtly different icons. This is just reap what you sow material, really.
I also enjoyed yesterday that they announced that they're having this 20th anniversary Xbox event. And they're like, there are no announcements, no new announcements. And then what they do in that blog post, they announced that they're updating the icons for your membership status.
I know. I am deeply excited to see the colored icon I'm going to get for whatever many years they credit me for. It should go back to the beginning. My Hotmail account is, I think, started in 2000.
So it's not, I don't think it's tied to your Hotmail account. It's tied
to
to
Xbox Live Gold or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know when Xbox. Well, did they have Xbox Live Gold right from the beginning? I think they did. So would have had it from the beginning. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think the largest number you can have is obviously 20.
20.
I'm at
Yeah,
mine was I think 16.
better have 20.
I, I don't know, mine was 16. I thought it was going to be closer to 20 because I remember, whatever, doesn't matter. Anyways,
No, this
that's
is going to be our new controversy. We're going to not. No one's going to get credit for all the years they put in, and everyone's going to be mad. And this nice thing they did is going to just be taken the wrong way, and get the pitchforks. We're going to Redmond.
I haven't been up there in a while.
Yeah, yeah. I get yeah. We just crossed the 2-week mark on work travel, right? Ignite 2019, 2 year. Sorry.
Yeah.
Was roughly this week.
Yeah.
Down in Orlando, probably. Yeah, Orlando.
Yeah, no, it was definitely Orlando because I remember I wore the giant yellow M&M suit.
Oh, was that true? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Visual Studio 2022 is now available, and .NET 6.
Yeah. A set of releases that should have been triumphant for Microsoft and marred somewhat by that weird open source frou-frou we didn't really talk about last week. And
the hot load thing.
Yep. And the departure of Nate Friedman from GitHub for some reason couldn't be announced in January. Had to do that like the week before we just did all our major annual launches. Great. Thanks for that.
I can, that was a time to him like, hey, I've got to be at Microsoft for X amount of years. That date came.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But still, dude, like, come on. 2 months? I just throw us a bone here. Anyhow, it happened. So, but yeah, if you're almost like a weirdo open source developer who wants to use .NET 6 from the command line, congratulations. You have a really crappy version of Hot Reload you can play with. So enjoy that. But if you want the real thing, and you're targeting C# or C++, yeah, it's in Visual Studio, so enjoy that. 64-bit and whatnot.
Yeah, if you're one of those crappy open source developers, right?
But I think the big announcement here, of course, is the new icons in Visual Studio. I think we can all agree.
Are they consistent?
I think we can all agree. It is a Microsoft product.
Yeah. Well, here we are on a Tuesday. Forza Horizon 5, I think, officially launches today.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
7? 5?
5.
I guess it's 5. I don't know. Yeah. And by the way, possibly the best reviewed Xbox game of all time already.
Yeah.
So if you're into these kind of arcadey racing style games, it takes place in Mexico, so that's cool. Yeah, that looks great. I'm gonna have to try that out because I got to tell you, I'm not super excited about the new Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And the more I use it, the less excited I become, and I'm nervous about the future again because I can't keep playing the same freaking old game over and over again. Like the last 2 releases were terrible for reasons that are completely different than this game's issues. I just couldn't play those games. Like it was like a groundhog sticking his head up and getting headshotted the second. Like there was some weird, I'll just call it lag latency thing where I was just not aware of people playing the game against me until they had killed me. And it was very frustrating. And I say that as someone who has literally been playing Call of Duty online since Call of Duty 2, which was, they had Call of Duty. No, they had multiplayer in 1 as well. But so actually I probably did play. Actually I did. I definitely did. I'm sorry. So, but on the console since 2 and, every single game. And then you hit the Modern Warfare remake and it's like, I wanted to love this game. I loved Modern Warfare, this original trilogy. But this game, I have a negative KD for starters. It's gonna affect me for sure. It's infected my marriage and my relationship with my wife. No, it's no, I'm just kidding. But it's I went back yesterday afternoon and replayed Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which is a game I've been playing instead of these other games mostly. I've tried different things here and there, but I immediately dominated the first 2 games I played. Beautiful color HDR experience. The graphics were better. This game is 3 years old, maybe 4 years old, whatever it is, 3 years. I I don't understand why it looks and plays better than the new game. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I am okay with the World War II thing. I thought Call of Duty WW2, whatever we're going to call that, was great. The multiplayer was great. I played that straight through for the year. I loved it. And I got to say, thinking back to that game, honestly, I like that multiplayer experience better. And tell me, you've played, right?
Mm-hmm.
So have you noticed this? This game launched with a kind of a record number of multiplayer levels, at least in recent history.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
12, 16, whatever it is. They're all the same. They're all the same. Like, there are basically 2 or 3 map types, and they look a little different because they're, one's in France, one's in Morocco or something, but they're basically the same layouts, the same things. Like, some of them are really close quarter games like Berlin, or levels like Berlin, where it's just like the top of the Chancellery building and it's not a very big space and there's 32 people there, go to town. And you just die. You run forward, you die, you run forward, you die, you run forward, you die. Like, it's just people everywhere. I've been on that level and have been where people respawn on the other team and gotten 7 or 8 kills in a row in the cheapest possible fashion, because this game isn't smart enough not to spawn people where an enemy is standing. Like, it's just bland looking and repetitive, and I know that's the definition of Call of Duty to some people, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, dude.
I don't like the last couple Call of Duties, or maybe all of them. Like, you had modes where it's like always 8v8. Now when you drop in, sometimes it's 6v6, or you log in, it's 18 versus 18, and it's 18 versus 18. The game is not big enough for that.
I think that happens on the same levels. I'm pretty sure I did an 18 by 18 on that Berlin level I was talking about. It's a small level, and it's just too many people. Like, it's a weird thing to complain about. I mean, I know over the years one of the goals was to get more and more people in these matches, but I don't know. So do you have you tried the Warzone, or is Warzone changed?
Warzone's not out yet. That is where I will eventually migrate back to for sure. I'm only playing it just to level up the gun so that I could potentially have an advantage in Warzone, unless the new Warzone map sucks, and then it's going to be a long winter.
Yeah, well, in keeping with the World War II theme, I guess. So.
But we don't quite know how that's all going to play out either, because they tend to keep all the weapons from all the games, and so that way.
Which, by the way, I think would improve this game. I'm okay with the weapons, but I've always sort of thought, like, the locales can be fun. Why not mix and match the weapon loadouts from different games? Having Modern Warfare or Black Ops weapons in here wouldn't change. It would be fine. Like, doesn't bug me.
The problem with that is that the team that makes Black Ops apparently doesn't have enough money to license the actual gun names. So you have the Modern Warfare 2 gun, which is called the M4, or like M4A1, which we all know. And then there's the Black Ops version, which they call the X4. And they're both in the game. And it's like, come on.
Dude, this is the other thing. Like, as happens, I think, with every Call of Duty game, especially, literally the multiplayer part of it, there'll be the guns that are just unbalanced. And over time, they kind of fix those problems, hopefully. But if you spend time reading about video games, God help you, but you can figure out which guns have the best, even the best loadouts, and for some it's like a god gun or something, So there's a lot of Call of Duty stuff in my newsfeed lately, and I actually clicked on this just to find out what they were talking about. This is so stupid. This is how dumb our world is. How to correct Call of Duty Vanguard's blooming problem. I'm like, blooming? I'm like, what's that? So I go to bloom, I go read this thing. Blooming is what happens when you go to fire at someone and the gun is inaccurate. It kind of it just scatter shots. And the solution is the same solution it's been since the second Modern Warfare, I think, which is you just add grips and whatever to the gun to make it more. Basically, the advice is look for attachments to the gun that increase its accuracy. Right. Like, we're going to call that blooming.
Yeah.
This is the noob thing from one of the Call of Duty games that had Dwight Howard in it, where he's like, blowing his thing all over the place. Like, now we have a word for this. Like, it's just the gun is inaccurate without any attachments. That's
how it
always
works.
Been the case. It's not a new thing. And the solution is not new.
Somebody's playing the SEO game.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I really needed this one to be good. That's going to be the story of my life. Pixel, same thing. I really needed this thing to be perfect. And
Can I get this lighting is all jacked up? Speaking of perfect.
Yeah, it's because you made the mistake of turning it off.
I did. It's because I disconnected this thing, and the TV goes, well, it's a new input source. Let's just forget all the settings that we had.
You must want to blare the brightness.
Yeah, pretty much. Microsoft's education event is happening today. So.
Yep. What's the timing on that? Like 11? 18?
Yeah, I think so. Is it in New York?
Is it in a place? Wow. I don't know.
I don't know if it is or not. I have no idea, actually.
Is this their first education event since the time they introduced 10S and the laptop? I mean, I know Microsoft has gone to bed. Like, that happens every January, and there are announcements around that. But is this the first time Microsoft had an event? Because I just want to remind people how unsophisticated those solutions were. Remember?
Yeah.
Terry Barson's walking around with a USB key, and he's showing how easy it is for a teacher to reset the computers between classes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was... Yeah, you just plug it in.
Yeah, here's another idea. How about it just happens automatically? You know? I don't know. So, yeah, hopefully they have something a little more sophisticated this time around.
We'll find out in just a couple hours.
I mean, it won't be, but, we'll see.